Staying on the same story, we are talking about External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar's visit to Copenhagen and his take on Operation Sindoor so far. You heard him saying and giving his different takes on what he said to one of the Dutch organization there, and completely reiterated that how India was very much capable of carrying forward Operation Sindoor and then achieving a bilateral talk with Pakistan also on cessation of firing between both the countries. Well, also External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is visiting Copenhagen, and there he also met Denmark's Minister for Industry, Business and Financial Affairs, Morten Bødskov. The two leaders discussed deepening existing areas of cooperation and exploring new possibilities as well. He also met with Speaker of the Parliament of Denmark, Søren Gade, and appreciated his solidarity as India resolutely combats terrorism. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said Denmark's strong solidarity and support on combating terrorism has been commendable. He further added that the wide-ranging conversation on bilateral ties and global issues testifies to the strength of our relationship. And to discuss more on this, I am joined by Ambassador Anil Wadhwa, the former senior diplomat. Good afternoon, Ambassador Wadhwa. When we talk about this very particular issue, Dr. S. Jaishankar, in his first visit after the tensions between India and Pakistan, cleared the air on a lot of important topics. One of the most important is India's role in achieving the mutual understanding reached between the two nations. And he straightaway clarified that a lot of many countries do call in such a situation, but the understanding was reached on a bilateral level in the context of the USA. Now, Ambassador Wadhwa, does that put a full stop to all the questions raised by the opposition on India's capabilities about handling critical conflicts by its own self?
It certainly does, and I think it's very important to clear the air about issues such as these. The narrative is very important, and I think Mr. Jaishankar has done well by clearing the air while he's abroad during this trip, but also while he was in India. I think a series of briefings that took place by the Ministry of External Affairs as far as parliamentarians are concerned, which were led by the Foreign Secretary, but also whenever Mr. Jaishankar had the occasion to do so, he explained India's stand very clearly and exactly what has happened in the sequence of events. So three important things which stand out in his explanations, and these are the takeaways which will be clear now from now onwards. One is, of course, that India reacted to terror, and the fact that the actions on the 7th and 8th night were directed at terror camps alone. After that, when there was an escalation from the Pakistani side, from the Pakistani military at the civilian and other targets, then after that India also retaliated. And finally, the fact that the Pakistanis continued that action, and therefore, the last action that India took was to target the military facilities in Pakistan, which led them to then approach India on a bilateral basis to ask for cessation of firing and military hostilities. So this is a sequence of events which is now very clear, and at the same time, the fact that Operation Sindoor is continuing is only pause, and if there is a similar action by Pakistan in the future, as outlined by the Prime Minister, there would be a retaliatory action against terror.
Absolutely, Ambassador Wadhwa, and also while we say that Operation Sindoor is not over yet, Dr. S. Jaishankar further said that borders in Kashmir are not up for any sort of negotiations. How do you see this very clear stand of India backed by measured response and its clear policy?
I think it's a very good decision which has been taken by the Prime Minister to ensure that the policy is well laid out. And of course, we saw a progression in this policy since 2016, 2019, and now in 2025. After all, there is a limit to how much restraint a sovereign country can have when a neighboring country uses cross-border terrorism as a state policy of creating chaos and also targeting civilians. And this time it was done on a religious basis. And that is what the External Affairs Minister has made clear, that when you have a military general in Pakistan who has already given a hate speech based on religion, and after that the actions from the terrorists follow, then of course India is bound to take action to defend its population.
Also, the Indian delegations are visiting many strategically important global countries to uncover the agenda about terrorism. This is probably happening for the first time, Ambassador Wadhwa. What do you think of such an initiative, and how does that also, make India even stronger in its stand against terrorism?
I think it's very important for a society like India, which is a democratic, pluralistic society, to project its unity and also to reflect what the population and its representatives think. And in this case, that is why the all-party delegations which have gone out to all these seven different sets of countries are a reflection of the fact that India believes that there is a unity in purpose and a unity in thinking as far as the population of India is concerned and its representatives are concerned. And this is going to be a unique experiment. In fact, I think it should become a narrative for the future. It's very important to ensure that the right narrative is spread. And by talking to their counterparts abroad, it gives a very strong message of where the country stands. And I think it's a very good initiative.
All right. Thank you so much, Ambassador Wadhwa, for joining us and bringing us a rounded perspective on the latest development.